This is something that I think is really interesting as we were talking about in the gym. You mentioned that when you were peak powerlifting, 20 to 29, you weren't really doing accessories. You were just doing your big powerlifting movements. But now that you're doing accessories, you've been gaining muscle in those areas that you weren't ever isolating.
Yes. So my whole powerlifting career, it was all compound lifts, all squat, bench, deadlift. Maybe we'd throw in back extensions or hamstring curls, stuff like that I think would help my deadlift. But I wasn't doing isolation movements. I wasn't training my arms directly. Never did lateral raises. And now I've really been implementing that the last few months. And I think there's going to be a huge payoff because I'm already seeing more development in those areas. It's completely foreign muscle groups, foreign exercises. And I just want that, a good physique and to be healthy. And, I'm interested in I want to maintain pretty decent numbers. Maybe let's say 325 bench minimum, let's say a 600 deadlift and a 500 squat while trying to get down lean and have a VO2 max in the 50s. So that's kind of a goal. I've never formally gotten it tested at a lab. We have one in Knoxville. I'm going to do that. But just off the Garmin thing, it says it's 48 right now, VO2 max. And it takes a lot of work to even move that 1 point. So I'd like to get breaking to the 50s, and that's another goal.
Do you find that it's maybe not as motivating to lift, or do you like the way you're lifting now?
It's not as motivating to try to push super heavy. It's very taxing, obviously. But I just like seeing the physique changes more than anything, feeding off that. And I'm still, like I said, I'm benching heavy twice a week. I'm deadlifting heavy once a week, and I'm squatting heavy once a week. So that'll kick the day off, and then I roll over into the accessories, and I'm doing crazy high reps of 20, 30, 40 rep sets of push downs, curls, lateral raises, and just trying to bring up those weak points that have never been trained. Because I always had a big back and big neck and traps from powerlifting. But that was it. My quads weren't even big. I didn't do much for those. I just squatted. I didn't try to grow my physique at all. So it's just a new challenge in life. And, you get older, it changes. Life changes completely. We've heard the thing every 7 years, you become a new person. Your interests change. You shift your mindset. I mean, we can truly right now look at where we'll be 7 years from now. We have no idea. You can have an idea, but it likely won't be anything anywhere near what you think. I didn't think I'd be back into running, for instance. I didn't think I'd be off everything. I didn't think I'd have a daughter who's a year old now. So it's wild to think back. Okay, I'm 31 now. What was I doing at 24? It was a completely different life. I looked different. My interests were different. It was everything was different. So it's kind of cool to see 7 years from now we'll be completely different. And that's the normal thing. It's just you don't often think about it in that perspective.
I think you shed your former self, in some degree, especially if there's parts of you that you didn't like, so that's probably part of what you went through from your transition to powerlifting to messing around with more bodybuilding and running.
Yeah, I think everything changes. I mean, it's sometimes I think about what do you want out of life? For you guys, I mean, what would you guys say? What do you want out of life now at this stage? Because you're different ages, different points in life, but from where you were, say, a decade ago to now, how has that changed? What do you guys think?
I think for me, there's been a constant theme of just, I would like to continue to improve, improve as a husband, improve as a friend, and improve as someone to communicate with people. So that has kind of always been there, whether it's, me putting my focus into lifting and trying to lift more or trying to run further and run faster. I get a lot out of improvement. It's something that keeps me motivated, keeps me going, keeps me fired up. And then obviously, having children and things like that, the legacy part of any of that is just to pass things on to them that can help them become good people, hopefully great people. But also really assist them to, hopefully, if they wish to, for them to be great parents, because I think that really moves the needle. So I think about the people that they're going to impact, almost like the way you might think about people that listen to this show or people that follow you on Instagram. You're hoping that you have a good positive impact, but I think it's to a much different degree when you're impacting the people that are inside your home.
Yeah, it's a big question, but in general, the whole, I think, essence of this podcast is we're selfish in the way that we want to improve. We bring people on that we can learn things from that, you know, it helps everyone who's listening, but it also helps us with the things that we're trying to improve at in our lives. So it's like constant improvement. I'm someone who, I like peace, bro. Like, so there's no one in my life that like there's drama or whatever. Like peace is just a constant thing that I'm just like, if there's not peace, like there's problems. You know what I mean? So, constant improvement are the things I enjoy, physical, mental, consistent peace, helping the people in my life. And in the future, like as I continue on jiu-jitsu, I want to be able to teach jiu-jitsu. Specifically, I want to be able to teach jiu-jitsu to kids. I don't even want to do it for money. It's just something I enjoy. You know what I mean? I enjoy it so much, and I've seen the impact it's had on me physically and mentally. And it's something that I wish I had when I was a kid. I mean, I played a lot of sports, which definitely helped me out. But just what I've been able to learn from this in the past few years, I think it can be so powerful for youth. So I want to do that at some point. But yeah, that's like, if we're gonna try to cement that in, that's some of that. Yeah,
I think peace makes a lot of sense because you fight every day, right? So you're trying to have like a good variation between the two, right? Like if I fight every day, then and make things difficult, then things will be easier. I'll be able to defend myself, defend things off of me a little easier. How about for you, Andrew?
Yeah, and real quick, I mean, you've also experienced what it's like to not have peace also. And I know, like, and I have the same thing. So, like, I would say not necessarily 10 years ago, a little bit further than that. Like, I'd go to bed and wouldn't care if I was going to wake up or not because I didn't have really anything and I wasn't working towards anything. It was, when can I get another drink? When's like the next day off, and like when's the next paycheck? When's Call of Duty, you know, gonna start up again? You know, whatever it may be. And like there was just nothing I was working towards. Versus now, you know, I have my son, I have my daughter, we have this. Like there's so many things that like I've been working on, and you know, I've seen some success. And then, you know, having my son, like, you know, I do so much with him on my mind, you know, like he was like the last straw for me to get into jiu-jitsu. So like, you know, cause I want him to do it. So like, there's things like that where it's like, now I have a goal. You know, I have my first competition coming up. Like I'm working towards things. Whereas before, like I said, dude, like I just didn't, without sounding too mean. And obviously I had family, like family was awesome, but like I was kind of a piece of shit. You know, like I would look at that person and be like, yeah, like nobody's going to strive to be that. Versus now, like, yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff going on, and things are finally going in a good direction.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, just like we talked about earlier, where you need some kind of goal at all times. I truly feel like everyone needs some tangible goal they're after where they can push towards that, because it does somewhat give your life meaning to where you don't feel that emptiness as much. The most depressed I've been is when I'm in limbo and I don't know what I'm going after. So that's a big thing.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.